There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you this morning? Look at this. This is great from Botswana, from Pippa. The older I get, the more I understand why roosters just scream to start their day. Isn't that a fantastic little meme there? We love our little memes. If you see something like that and you want us to include it on the show, send it in. 913-590-303, which reminds me, I successfully managed to get my SIM card sorted. I bought another SIM for my dual SIM phone, and it didn't work. It didn't work. So I had a bit of a problem with it. I blamed myself. I blamed myself at first, but actually got sorted out on Friday. My weekend, as you know, begins on a Friday. After the show on Friday, after Feel Good Friday, wasn't that a fantastic show with Jenny? After the luggage comes the baggage. I think we did that justice. Check it out. It's in our YouTube archive. But yeah, a few things sorted out. The broken SIM card. I didn't know SIM cards could break. Of course they can, but it's never happened to me before. And of course, the bank account, the bank card situation. I have successfully activated my Eurobit card. But anyway, if you've got some lovely memes like this one, for me, I feel like the rooster crowing in the morning, glad to see the day. But I can understand why sometimes, yes, it's like waking up and like, that sort of thing as well. So make of that what you will. The older I get, the more I understand why roosters just scream to start their day. And also, I've just got this beauty from Joao F as well. Oh, yeah, for sale. 3 CCTV cameras, old model, apparently, here in Portugal. Now, the caveat that goes with this, I don't know if he wanted to take the credit for this or not, but I've outed you now, mate. Apparently, these might have zoom problems. They've got a high diopter rate, and the microphones have a bad sound reception, but they still work, more or less. And you may have seen these old, if I may say so, the older model, the vintage CCTV cameras of Portugal. Here they are. Not really for sale. Please don't send any offers in. Thank you very much for that, Joao F. Beautiful pictures from of sunset in Obidos. Thank you, Phil and Maria, for that. Pictures from France, from the coach, from Coach Turner as well, looking very beautiful over there. The wine that Garvo has asked me to mention, the wine club will be kicking off again on the 1st of August. And this is the wine that will be chosen if you want to join us. A lot's changed, hasn't it, in the year since we were off it? Is it off on the wagon? I can never remember whether it's off the wagon or on the wagon when you are or aren't drinking, respectively. I guess you're on the wagon, aren't you, and being carried because you're so drunk. Anyway, I'm not sure what the derivation of that is, but this is the wine, Cat's Paw. Oh, it's a lovely link to be made here. Of course, we're going to ask Gilda about Manny Mandela. What's this? Have I got the right ticker tape here? Your migration questions and comments, please, in the chat. Yeah, that's good. And of course, your picks on 00351 913590303. That's all well and good. What's the first bit? Migration Monday, hopefully. And of course, thoughts from the Redwoods. Sometime soon. There's not usually enough time, is there, for James to articulate all that he wishes to articulate, especially with me interrupting him constantly. Before that, James Holley. There you go. James Holley's thoughts from... Oh, this ticker tape works perfectly. Thoughts from the Redwoods. Reflections from an American. New to Portugal. Now, I think there's a significant date, isn't there, for Americans today? I can't quite remember what it is. Something to do with fireworks, maybe? He'll explain. Happy Independence Day to all of you. Just in case somebody was getting offended there. Yes. So Pedro do Gato is the wine choice for the 1st of August. I don't know what those little letters are. It's an annotated cat's paw. And I've got a lovely link to this. I really do. Superb link with a cat that I saw in a bag in a supermarket, which sounds terrible, doesn't it? But there you go. Before I move on, that is the long shot of the wine. That will kick off the wine club, which will happen at 9 o'clock on the first Monday of every month. I think part of the problem with the last wine club is that we did it every week. And as much fun as that was sometimes, including a lock-in afterwards, some people would join we use this platform. So there were some spaces after the show for people to jump on and keep drinking and talking, which could be fun. Sometimes it turned into political outrage and consternation and downright rowing. I don't know if you know what the Brits are like when they start getting angry about politics, but it was very interesting. We're all still friends, just about. Well, enough sticky tape, enough chewing gum, and duct tape and WD-40 and cable ties to hold the whole thing together, to be relaunched on the 1st of August with this fine Portuguese wine here. We only taste Portuguese wines. Vinhas de Passarela, the Pedro de Gato, and it's a Dow, kicking off with the Dow. With Dow slightly controversial. I think it's a bit of the Marmite wine of Portugal. Some like it, some don't. A Sobrejão Serra da Estrela. Ooh, a Serra da Estrela wine. Maybe we'll have that runny cheese to go with that, because I think Owen might be thinking of working on a few serving suggestions to go along with the wine that we taste. And talking of Owen, I trust you had a fantastic birthday celebration yesterday, Owen. Looks like you got a nice prezi from Philomena, for whom you sang the jingle, the legendary jingle, Philomena Friday. He cooks, he sings, and he has wonderful birthday parties. If you were there, let us know how it was, especially you, Owen, and a lovely gold edition mug. Some of us have got these special mugs that Philomena sorts out for us. There's mine, where she captures us. You can see Owen capturing his own mug. A mug on a mug, you might say. As in, not a mug as in someone who's not very smart, but the mug as in the face shot, mug shot. Oh, better back out of that cul-de-sac before I go any further. But I hadn't finished with cats. The wine is the Pedra de Gato, cat's paw wine. Oh, there's Owen. And there's a cat in a bag in a supermarket. I popped a lovely evening on Saturday, hanging out with Bill and Claire. Their great adventure took them to Bill and Claire's great adventure took them to our house on Saturday, where I think we, it was going to be just popping around for a snack and a chat. I think we finished up about just before midnight, and then I took the dogs out for a walk. Actually, I'll come back to that cat in a minute. I took the dogs out for a walk and captured this ghostly bridge at Celia de Porto after dropping them back at their house, and let the dogs off for a run. Jimmy Choo likes to go running in those sand dunes at the beyond there. But isn't that a lovely ghostly image there? But anyway, earlier on in that evening, I was in the Intermarché locally, and I thought, oh, there's a little girl's got a pink backpack. What the blazes is that inside it? It's a proper cat. That's not a toy. That is a real cat being carried around a supermarket. He seemed fairly cheerful. I mean, that's a grumpy looking cat anyway, isn't it? It has a slightly stern resting face, as some cats do. Funny, aren't they, cats? I'm more of a dog person myself than a cat person. What are you? Cats or dogs? Some rare exceptions, like both, don't they? Like all creatures, great and small, as it were. But I thought that was hilarious, seeing a cat being taken shopping. I wonder if he chose his own food, because they can be fussy with food, can't they? So maybe he sticks his little paw through those holes there, through the portholes. See what I did there? Portholes, P-A-W-T. And he chooses his own little, I don't know, pate of foie gras and smoked salmon. I think that's what sort of thing. Well, it's not the cats that like that. It's the owners who think they're doing them a favor. Down the end of the street, look, Colina de Sol, the upmarket campsite, with its wonderful water slide here, opens in 12 days time. And walking up there with the dogs on Saturday on the perimeter, I don't know if that's going to be ready or not. Anyone watching from Colina de Sol, anyone who goes there, anyone's got a booking there this summer? Have they been in touch with you about the state of readiness of your cabin? Amazing. I can't wait to get up there and have a look and see what they've done, because it's been shut all the time we've been in town. But rather fabulous. There we have it, the water slide. That's just part of the entertainment on offer at Colina de Sol. I've reached out to them, and they've been a little bit snooty and distant. No one's got back in touch yet, inviting me to the 5-star launch, which is what I was hoping for, of course. And so James will be with us in just a moment. We've got lots of, I haven't even said hello to everybody yet. Let's just do a quick name check to see who's in. We've got Darren, we've got Antonio, we've got Rebel Mama, we've got Owen, of course, Stephen, Pam, Cindy B, Desert Dweller. Hello, Desert Dweller. Enjoyed talking to you over WhatsApp. Andy the Porky Feet, he sent me some vintage recordings of himself on stage. I can't wait for a little trip back to the 80s. We have Rishab, of course. Rishab always here on a Monday when Gilda's here. And some other days we've noticed Rishab as well. And we have in the chat Chris Smith. He sent me a bluegrass recording. You were on a Can you tell everyone about it, Chris? Feel free to post a link, my friend. Don't wait for me on that. And Lejma de Banana. Oh, I know what that is. I was just thinking you've got a new person here. Lejma must be slug in Portuguese, right? In Portuguese, por favor, Lejma de Banana. Banana, yes, indeed. And is it a big banana or is it the more Madeiran little banana there? And who doesn't know? Thunder Duck is in as well. Antigo and Victoria. Yeah, Victoria. We would still let you join the show. Well, anyway. Yes, Coach Turner has a God Squad tip of the day. Let's do that now while I have a sip of tea. Quick look at Coach Turner's photos and then back to talk about probably with James' thoughts from the Redwoods, but I suspect there'll be Independence Day inspired as well. So see you after this. Do like that note at the end there. Okay, God Squad tip of the day. Thank you, Coach Turner, who's in France at the moment. Actually, let's have a quick look at his photos from France very quickly. Yeah, France is all right, and Spain's okay. And we will show you photos, Victoria and Coach Turner. Let me just take that off there for a moment so we can see the full glory of your pictures. He said, that's a big tower. And who doesn't like a big tower? Anyway, there we go. And look at that beautiful color of water. It's not a flooded village. That is how it is. A Venetian-style French village there. Bourges, I think we're talking about. That's Bourges Cathedral anyway. And some water sports going on there in some beautiful French lake. Can you tell us what this is and where this is, Coach Turner? In the comments. And look, that Venetian, it's not Venetian, is it? It's very French. Let's not call Aveiro the Venice of Portugal, and neither this Bourges possibly the Venice of France. It is beautiful, isn't it, with that building? Like it looks Norman, doesn't it? That building in the middle of the river there. But I'm sure Coach Turner will know better than me. So let us go to his Coach Turner insight. Growing old disgracefully with Coach Turner, the God Squad. Bon viveurs, gentle fitness. Did you play a sport you loved when you were younger? Yes, I did, and I've just started playing it with the lad. A game of squash where you use your hand. We've got this lovely little enclosure outside our house where we can actually have a game of squash, more like fives. Though I went to a posh school, we played fives. Did anyone else play fives? Perhaps there's a master's version you could try, such as walking football. Yes, good exercise with a great social side, and I love how it's called, instead of old football or veteran football, masters football there. Walking football, fantastic. What other? You could do walking jogging, couldn't you? And walking sprinting and walking marathoning as well as the masters version. Walking cycling. What else could you play? Walking tennis could work, couldn't it? You have to be a little bit kinder to each other on the court. But that is a fantastic suggestion. And Monday, back once again with the Renegade Gumpers, with the Renegade Gumpers, with the Renegade Gumpers. Let's go now to a Renegade Gumper. Let's play his theme tune. Oh my goodness, where did that first 15 minutes disappear to? Let's talk to him after this. A State of Independence. Twain.
Bon dia.
Yeah, James, how are you? To the way.
I love that song. I need to give it credit. You sent me the title once, and it's like, oh, I like that. It's called Redwood Highway, so it's like perfect. Great choice.
It is absolutely perfect. Although, I guess the banana slug, a lejma de banana, is not so much a highway creature, more a back lane, right? But it's I love it. It's really
Yes.
It's joyful, is it? It's joyful. Are you joyful this morning? Do you celebrate American Independence Day, James? Can you tell us more about it?
Let me give you the long answer. No.
Okay. Why is that then?
It's funny. When you propose, me sharing thoughts on that, I had something else that I was working on in the moment, but then said, "Oh, well, that seems appropriate." Okay. So I woke up this morning. What are my thoughts? Where did they go? And it went more to nationality, and I can talk about that in a minute. But for me, it actually is kind of along the line of what I was going to speak to this morning. Is when someone says, "How are you?" I learned a long time ago, and this is part of how the actual practice of changing our thoughts is, what do I base my answer on? Yes, because I will think things like that. Someone will say, "How are you?" And I say, "What do I want to base my answer on?"
You stand there. You stand there in thoughts while people are expecting an answer. Is it taking for a long these days?
Ultimately, the long story short is I decided that if we're not just answering by the default of "fine, thanks, how are you?" It's just sort of
Yes.
nobody really cares how you're doing. They're just going through the protocol of making contact.
Yes.
If you're going to give a truthful answer, then what do you base your answer on? And I discovered that generally we base our answer on what has happened most recently. So if it's
Yes.
in the morning, how was it getting up in the morning? Was I late? Was I on time? Did things go smoothly? Was it a pain in the butt?
Yes.
And then my answer is dependent on that. So
Yeah.
if I was late to work and my shoelace broke and my car wouldn't start, then, I'm going to be honest, I go, not so great. But, if everything went smoothly, my coffee was hot and on time and I was early and, then I could say, "Oh, I'm feeling really good."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I decided that that's too circumstantial. It's too variable. I want something that I can count on, so I look to the future. I said, why not answer that based on the future, not based on the past? And I said, you can't do that. I said, well, who wrote the rule book? What's the rule say? And for
This is all
me,
still
looking
going on. This is all still going on inside your head.
yes, all of this,
Yeah.
well, not in the moment. When someone asked me, I went home later and I started thinking about
Right.
it. It took me a little while to get to the final place. But ultimately, I said, the future is more dependable because I can decide what I want my future to be. I can decide how I want to be in my future. If
Yeah.
I'm deciding how I want to be based on my past, then it's going to really just be totally dependent on what circumstances have occurred.
Yeah.
So I decided to rewrite my own rule book about that and answer the question with the intention I had for my life. So I want my life to be great. I want my life to be fabulous. I want to be happy. I want to be all these things in my future, the things I'm working toward, the things I'm training myself toward. So I started answering that question, "How are you?" with "fantastic."
Mm.
And it caught people by surprise. They was like, "Why?
Yeah.
What's so fantastic?" I
Steady
said,
on now.
yes. I said, the road to my future is amazing, kind of like that. And then I started actually thanking them for asking me, because every time now that I'm asked, I'm reminded that this is the future I plan for myself. So I most consistently, when I'm being conscious about it, answer some exclamation of something very positive, because I am very excited about my future based on what I'm creating today. So
Amazing.
that's actually my abbreviated answer to the question. How are you? I'm fantastic. Thank you.
What
Every
was the
day.
question again? Yeah, yeah. No, I do love that. I absolutely love that, and doesn't surprise me at all. And I think it's a fantastic sort of comic character in there, isn't there, from a sketch show? The thinking guy, in everyday situations, where he's like, how would you like your coffee? It's like,
Let me
here we go. That's right. It's like a
see.
big thinking,
Not cold, sweet, not caffeine.
That's right. And then the bartender is like, I'm not going to ask him if he wants sugar or not. I'm just going to give him the sugar. But this is what we know and love about you. Very thoughtful and coming up with some pithy insight and wisdom. How did you connect that with Independence Day, by the way?
Well, that was you actually kicked it off with asking me how I was, and I said, "Oh, that was something I'm going to talk about today, which is
Yeah.
shaping our thoughts." So it gave me a chance to throw that in there. But then as I was contemplating Independence Day, I started having thoughts like, well, Independence Day or 4th of July it's like a nationalist thing. Like, I love my country. And then I got to thinking about a statement somebody made in one of my psychotherapy classes. Someone's made the statement, I love being a man. I said, And people who claim I love being an American, it's like, well, I love America to me is kind of like I love the ocean, or I love, it's like it's a geographical location, and America is, and being in America is nothing particularly astounding. Like being anywhere on the planet, that's just where we are. So I
Yes.
love being American. I love being human.
Yes.
I love being this human more specifically. Like
Yes.
being human's too general. There's all kinds of humans that I would not want to be like, but I love this human. So to be honest about Independence Day in America, it's not I love America. It's like I was born in America. I grew up in America. I'm familiar with America. Do I love America? Well, there's some things about it I really like, and there's other things about it that I can't stand, So
That is so honest. But we can't really have a snappy title for a day that encapsulates all of that, can we?
yes, and when you think of the history of it, that was a gruesome, painful war where people were tortured and killed, and it's horrible. And,
Yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing because people got killed and tortured. I'm laughing at the whole sort of irony of this situation that you're creating for us. You're right, and I think that's why, isn't it? We don't have vaguely happy to be human and possibly American Day. The more specific it is, the better in a way, isn't it? Which leads us on to Happy Birthday, Owen, for example. We can celebrate the birth of an individual, can't we? Which may be what we'll do. Maybe what we'll do is like, forever for everybody now. Happy Independence Day. Synonymous with Owen. Happy birthday, Owen.
Happy birthday, Owen. I was going to say it might be more appropriately Independence Day for him, like an independent human being. Yes, celebrate that.
Sovereign specimen of greatness. There he is, Owen. So happy birthday to you, Owen. And yeah, it'd be so great to hear from other Americans, because often I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, often I don't know what I'm talking about, full stop. But certainly when it comes to American matters, I can put my foot in it. And also, it's a little bit totally orcs, isn't it? With the British American thing on this particular day.
Yeah, absolutely. Given the conflict that existed that created that whole thing.
Yes.
And I also went to thinking, there's other places that Britain colonized that didn't have a revolution. They seem to be doing just fine. Well, Canada, for instance. Well, France might have an argument with that. No, we were there. All right. However you want. It's primarily British. So
yeah.
To me, the more playful and less potentially controversial aspect, and looking at how in some ways are humans very similar around the world. And I got to thinking, Americans will take any excuse to have a barbecue and fireworks and have a party and get drunk. And I said, that's a lot like Portugal, It's like, there's a party and a holiday and food and fireworks, once a week, every week.
That's right. Portuguese actually outdo the Americans in that way, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. A nom de plume sake, Independence Day is now mainly now a big picnic and fireworks, with due respect for those who sacrifice. Yes, and with due respect for those who sacrifice their lives so we could detach from the British. Yeah, well said. Well said. I suppose we do. It's important that we live in conversations now, isn't it, rather than shorthands? And I think that is the problem with that. Great, happy Independence Day. Hopefully, that's a great greeting and a reason to be happy. And then so much of the time now, we are unpacking things, aren't we? We're having conversations about things. And I think nom de plume, you sum it up beautifully there by saying Happy Independence Day. We're in no way undermining any suffering that's gone on behind that. But then that I don't think that need cast a shadow over proceedings. And why not have a barbecue and a good drink like we do in Portugal for some reason every single week?
Yes, and I think, I would guess most Americans don't even think about what the day is. It's just a
No.
holiday, so we don't have to go to work and we can have a party.
Yes.
And that's the nature of, I think, most holidays. When you think about many of the holidays, they are based on very somber things that have occurred that we're wanting to remember. And yet
Yes.
we use them as an opportunity to celebrate. And I don't see there's anything wrong with that, as long as we don't lose track of the origin of the day. Maybe take a moment and say, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
get to live the lifestyle I live in the United States because there were a bunch of people who said we're not putting up with this anymore and we're going to fight for it. And
Yep.
because of that, we got what we got, and then it's evolved into what it is, which is, I don't think, quite consistent with the original intentions of the people that fought for independence. But
So
that's
often the way. There's another reason to have the conversation, because it's so often the way, isn't it? With struggle. Why we had the remembrance of the Battle of the Somme last week. Why on earth did that happen, and why does it continue to happen in some way as well? That there's a senseless slaughter of human beings. Quite the topic this morning, but we don't shy away from anything. And
I don't want to end on senseless slaughter, so I want to get back to Portugal's Independence Day. I think that's one of the reasons that the Portuguese are so proud of their Independence Day, because it was relatively nonviolent.
Yes,
very few people died or were injured as a result of that. There was a essentially peaceful change of the guard, so to speak, and it just stands out in world history. As far as I know, that's the first time a revolution has ever occurred in that manner. So. That's the place where it's like, yeah, let's celebrate that too, that we have evolved to the point that we can have differences and change our minds or make things different without necessarily having to create massive slaughter and war. That's the world I would look for.
Well said on this day, on this significant day for Americans. You're going to stick around. You're not going to disappear, because we're enjoying the conversation between the three of us when Gilda joins us in just a moment. But before she does, you've got a Will Rogers quote of the day. Do you want to? I'll put it on the screen so you can read it in case you've thrown that post-it away.
I'm not going to attempt my Will Rogers imitation, because I really have no idea what he sounded like either. But yes, there are men running governments who shouldn't be allowed to play with matches. That to me felt like a pretty appropriate quote for looking at Independence Day and our last presidency for me personally.
Okay. You snuck in a little political comment there. I think we'll go to some early dad jokes to lighten the mood before.
There we go.
Before Gilda's arrival.
Warning.
Oh yes, afraid so. We have some lovely dad jokes here from Thunder Duck and some Portuguese sayings, which we'll save until Gilda gets here, because she might enjoy those as well. So dad jokes. Why did the monk refuse? Is this a dad joke? I mean, your kids are going to say, Daddy, what's Novocaine? But anyway, why did the monk refuse Novocaine when he had his tooth pulled? He wanted to transcend dental medication. Advanced. I think that's probably a dad joke for teenagers there. Very, very good. That could spark up a conversation about the meaning of life while you're on a road trip. Very good. And for the more junior children, infants possibly with this one, why do cows have bells? Because their horns don't work. A classic. Thanks for, what's this? Thanks for explaining the word many to me. It means a lot. Very good. I didn't quite know what was happening there, but now I do. Thank you very much, and I'm glad we apologized before
you were warned.
You were warned. That's right. No comeback on those. Okay, let's play this tune, which will be self-explanatory now. We'll mix it up this morning. We'll go out with a slow one later on. Gilda, hola, bon dia.
Yeah, it was not this one.
How are you this morning?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And I want to do this straight away because I want to say, here's Manny. There we go. Thank you, Darren, for this.
That's
Sometimes
great.
this is that sometimes what you return home to?
Finally.
Yeah.
Here's Manny. How is the little fella? Before we do, let's get the important things out of the way.
Oh, he's fine. Well, actually, he's not feeling very well from his belly because I had a very busy weekend. As you can feel from my voice, I feel a little bit tired.
Right.
I partied a lot.
But partying. Okay, I wondered if you were working at the office again for some reason. Partying.
Yeah,
Good for you.
And I left Mandela with my cleaning lady, and I don't know what she gave him, but he came home feeling very bad from the belly and like throwing up. So actually, he's like having a little bit of hangover over there.
Is he? I think I know what she might have given him. She's like, oh, dear, they go out partying and they leave me with this dog who does nothing but whine while they're away. Look, shush, have a chocolate liqueur.
Something like that. It crossed my mind that she might give him some pill for him to stay still. I don't know.
Sedative.
I don't know.
All right. Or
No,
maybe
I don't think that she would have done such a thing.
No, but yeah, you sometimes if you're not used to having a dog or know much about them, you could give them an inappropriate thing like a little chocolate that you would think to yourself, I'm going to have a sit down for a minute and just a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, and pastel de nata and a bar of chocolate, and I'll give some to the dog because they'll like that. And now he's got a poorly belly. Poor little Mandela. I mean, here's another option for you. You can take him with you. Why don't you take him with you to your parties in this sort of thing? Would he fit in something like that? Oh, I think we lost you there, Gilda, for a moment, or I lost myself. But maybe something like that would work. I don't know. Maybe it's not suitable for dogs in a way that cats like to get in a box and curl up, don't they? I'm not sure if dogs do. But there might be other solutions. People are so helpful. We had a lot of solutions last week, didn't we, to the challenges you face with Mandela. But okay, we're sending love to the little fella this week. And this topic, and maybe before we go into it, I don't know if you want to wish all your American clients a happy Independence Day this morning. And Owen, a happy birthday.
Yes, of course. Is any Americans watching the show? Because they should be celebrating. Or is there too soon?
Yes, quite right. But it is a bit too early, I think. Unless they're real party animals, they might have started already. But we've got Tony
right now.
Most of them are asleep. We're safe for the time being. The Americans are asleep, but not causing any trouble right now. But we do have a couple with us. Unless they're living here. And we've got Baldylocks and we've got Desert Dweller here. So, yes, we can. And the thing about our show, of course, Gilda, is people watch it on catch-up. So you can say what you like and be miles away by the time they watch it, is the way I look at it.
I'll get you next week.
Yeah. Yes, if they remember. So, yeah, happy birthday, Owen. I don't know if we've done that formally, but, mate, we will now think of American Independence Day as synonymous with your birthday. Sounds like you had a great time yesterday, and you're being asked if you're coming to the meetup on Wednesday so that celebrations can continue. How about that? Oh, and encouragement to hit the like button, everybody. Loads of comments this morning. Questions, of course, to please bring them in. And a first question that came in, and I do like this one. It's not negative exactly, but it's a little bit different to the ones we usually have. And that would be, where's it gone? Here it is. And the reason I'm asking it early, James, is because you might have something to say on this. General question for Gilda and the Gumpers mob, the Gumper mob, the riot. Do expats ever move back to their country of origin? And if so, why? So do you ever help with the return process, Gilda, for people who don't stay? And why don't they want to stay?
Yes, I always stay very frustrated when that happens.
Yes.
because it's a long process, and you stay with those clients, and then when they return to you and they say, we are going back to the States, because it's normally the Americans that want to go back. I'm like, why? What? You wanted this so much. Why you want to go back? And then, of course, I have to help them changing the tax address, and those little things, leaving the house, changing the utilities names, the end of the lease agreements, and all that. But most of them are young couples that miss their social life in the United States.
Yes. Okay, so there is a bit of a pattern.
Yeah.
And it's understandable, isn't it? I suppose when they were having different aspirations, they might not have thought about missing their friends and possibly family. And then when you're away, that can become a more present reality. What would you say about that, James? It sounds like you have no such itchy feet.
No, not at all. But I was thinking there might be people like me in terms of their decision to come. Like, I've never been there. It looks good. Let's go. So the image I got was, jumping off a cliff into a lake and then discovering the lake was like ice cold. Like, wow, why did I jump? Why did I do that? So I think there may be some folks like that who just take the leap and then find out they landed not where they wanted to be. I have also heard attitudes of Americans. They actually, I get reactive to them, Americans who come and then complain about everything that's Portuguese because it's not American. It's like, well, why did you come in the first place? So I think there are people like that who come thinking, oh, I'm just going to settle my own little America in Portugal and that'll be great because I can live there for less money and whatever it is. And then they get here and there's a different culture, a different way of life, different language, a lot of things that they discover they don't like because it's not what they want it to be or what they're used to. I think those could also be reasons, but social family is a big one I've heard.
Okay. And what would you say in your professional capacity for those feeling that way? I guess go with the flow, honor your feelings. What's it? Josie, follow your bliss. If you think your bliss is back there, do it. Or would it be worth having some second thoughts and a little bit of introspection on the matter?
Well, always introspection, as far as I'm concerned, because you need to look at what's the motivation. Am I just uncomfortable because everything is new? Because given time, I can adjust to that, and it might get better. Is it because I realize my family is far more important to me than I imagined when I left, and I can't stand being apart from them? That's not going to change unless my advice is always, well, get them to move over here too. But if that's not practical or that's not going to happen, then you have to be realistic with yourself and say, what's more important to me? What I came to Portugal for or my family? Those are important decisions. So yeah, absolutely. Look at your motivation. And if it's discomfort, I think, you might want to give it some time and see, give it a year or two and see if you settle in. And if you're still uncomfortable or you're still not happy, then make a new choice. But there's that notice, choose, act thing again. It's just so constant. Notice where you're at, make a choice about what you want to do, and then take that action. So that's what I would say.
There you go. The answer. The great question, Warren. Anything you'd want to add to that, Gilda, about that return journey? Because it sounds like that's a pretty awful situation to be in. Like, okay, I'm going, and then you think, oh, I've got to do the tax thing, got to do the utilities, got to let the landlord. I mean, it's quite a big deal, isn't it, to unpack it or repack it?
No, well, for me, it's a little bit, because when they get in touch with me, they always say that it's something that they really want to do. It's like a dream, and then when they arrive, it's like a dream that came true, and then it doesn't. When this happen, it's not. It doesn't take time. Okay, usually it's less than a year, and I get very surprised when it happens. And sometimes it's young couples that decide that they don't want to work anymore. they just want to enjoy life and to when they have kids and to give a better life to the kids, and then oh no, we just want to go back to work. We really miss work. We really miss our social life, so we want to go back.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Okay, very interesting. I think Pam was saying she's known British couples. Yeah, a few Brits go back. Most common reason was grandchildren. I hear you with that, Pam. I imagine there are similarities and threads here that we can see. The younger folks with a family missing friends and a particular social life, and then the oldies missing their grandkids that they don't get to see as often as they would like to. Thank you, everybody, for that. No, we're not asleep in the good old USA, and it's not time to celebrate. Yolanda is listening to us. Very early good morning to you, Yolanda, and everyone else who's tuned in from the United States and girding their loins for celebration. So we've got questions from Alex about the cost of living as well. But perhaps at this point, we thank James and wish you a very good week here in Portugal. Another excellent week. How are you, James?
Let me think about that.
Oh!
I'm fantastic.
Of course
I'm loving learning the Portuguese exclamatives. Is that the right word? Anyway, ótimo, fantástico. It's like, yeah, that's my single answer. To como estás? It's like, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, James, have a great week, my friend. Thank you so much for your thoughts from the Redwoods. Looking forward to next week already.
Thank you, James.
Ciao. There he goes. Okay, so Gilda, let's take a look at all those greetings for you this morning, as well as the questions this morning on migration. It is Migration Monday with Gilda Pereira from A, and a special look at the thin inventory situation, the thinventory, you could call it, about the difficulty of buying and renting. Well, not the difficulty of buying necessarily, but the availability of decent inventory, certainly in the lease market. And Gilda has a solution, which not too many people know about. We will come back to that after we've said hello to a few people. Giro.
Que giro.
What does that mean?
I like that one. It's how nice.
How nice, que giro.
And this is an expression that in Brazil, which they speak Portuguese also, they don't have this expression. So when they come to Portugal, they love this expression. It's one of the first things that they learn, and they say que giro, que giro, que giro. It's like something that they love when they arrive.
Thank you, Amelie, for that. Thank you for explaining, Gilda. Que giro, we should say that more here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check these out before we get into the questions about migration on Migration Monday with Gilda. Live from south of the capital this morning, I have new Portuguese sayings. They came from a Portuguese friend. He's creating distance already from these. Grão a grão, enche a galinha o papo. Grain by grain, the chicken fills her belly. A lot of small amounts together become a large amount. Many a mickle makes a muckle, I guess. Slow and steady wins the race. We like that one. Have you heard that one before, Gilda?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think people just say the first bit often, don't they? Grão a grão. Just slowly does it, yeah?
No.
You have to say the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh, okay. Isso e do tempo da Maria.
I love this.
What does that one mean?
This is from a long time ago.
Right, okay. And who is she? Who's Maria Cachucha?
I don't know. It's
no one knows.
Someone old.
Someone old. I think we've got a picture of her, actually. Is she one of the... Oh, I think I've already got rid of that picture, but I'm going to bring it back onto the screen because it's a good one. I think she's one of the three ladies in the CCTV situation that we've got here. Possibly the one in the middle there. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
possibly.
This is it. Okay, all right. So she was part of the original Portuguese CCTV system. So when something is old, you say this is from, like you could say the Flintstones or something like that. This is positively prehistoric. This is from Maria Cachucha's time. Cachucha. Okay, very good. Thank you for those, T-Duck. And we have a weather report from Belfast this morning. The big heat coming into the week. What's happening to the weather in Portugal, Gilda? I'll ask you about that in a minute. Yesterday in Belfast, 17 degrees. We're expecting 23 to 25 for approximately a week to 10 days. Now you know how we wear shorts, T-shirt in Portugal in February. Absolutely. What's happening to this Portuguese weather? It's a bit weird this year, isn't it, Gilda?
It is. It is. I'm a little bit scared because we have holidays booked, and what is going to happen?
Indeed.
One
Where does
day is shining, one day is cloudy.
yes? Did you say shining? I think you did say.
Yeah.
I think you did say.
Why?
Where's that? Because of that. That's a different kind of shining there. Okay. And where does a discerning Portuguese person go for their holiday then, Gilda? Are you staying in the country?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The Algarve?
I'm going 1 week to the Algarve,
Yeah.
1 week to the Alentejo, and 1 week to Porto Santo, which is in Madeira.
Oh, beautiful. Thoroughly deserved. Well done. That sounds like a fantastic itinerary. Dás-me a vender banha de cobra. You're selling me a snake lard. Snake lard. Okay, so a bit like snake oil, I guess there. You heard that one before?
Yes.
Oh, Banya de Cobra. Okay, very good. Thank you for these, T Duck. Thank you for your excellent research and those dad jokes this morning. Fabulous. Okay, Desert Dwellers in. Yes, Aviva from New Mexico. I'm looking at you, James and Tony. I can stay up. No clients today. Yeah, well done. Thank you, Aviva, for joining us. Yeah, being here. Really appreciate it at such an early hour. Rishab in early with a bon dia, which I extend to you now. A big fan of yours, I know there. And Darren was in. Yes, you made that fantastic Manny. Here's Manny slide for us. Catching up at the moment with all the comments and chat coming in and making our way towards the questions, the Migration Monday questions. Yes, they were lighting up the sky in San Diego as well. What is that? Is that fireworks already possibly seeing in Independence Day? Aviva again, this is timely. I'm waiting for my lease to come back from the attorney review at EI so I can sign it off. Now, somebody said to me, Gilda, Casa Portuguesa, that's connected to Gilda. I didn't realize that. I must consult with them. Please, this is one of the great solutions, is it not, to the difficulty of getting a lease at the moment? And presumably that's why you started Casa Portuguesa in the first place.
Yes, it was.
Okay, tell us more.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
I've created A in 2014.
Yeah.
And I've created Casa Portuguesa in 2015.
Really?
Yes, only 1 year after. But I was not able to run the both companies, okay?
Yes.
Because I was focused on A. I was really focused on A. And I tried to find someone to manage Casa Portuguesa. But no one believed in what Casa Portuguesa did, because we are not like a traditional real estate agency, because we don't have Casa Portuguesa doesn't have houses. We are like we are a house hunting agency.
Yeah.
So, in a Portuguese mindset, it doesn't make sense, because you go to a Remax and you find a house. So everybody told me, Gilda, you are crazy. No one is going to use these. And then, of course, I was too focused on A, and this was an idea that was like in a box. But the service was every year more wanted for our client, searched for our clients. Everyone was asking for our help on this, and I said enough. So now it's the time. Now it makes the whole sense, and I turned to the people and I said, I hope that now you realize that I was right since the beginning. This makes all sense. So it makes sense that it's also separated from A, because this is not migration services. And we need to start to creating our partners, and we need a special license for doing this, which we have. So it's an independent company, and what we do is that you tell us what kind of apartment or house you want to buy or you want to rent, and we go to every agency and try to search for the one that fits your needs, and we try to negotiate the rental agreements, to sign on your behalf if you're not here with the power of attorney.
Oh, that's useful.
Yes, and to make the utilities, to work on the utilities also. But the most important part is that it's very difficult to rent an apartment or a house if you are not in the country.
Yeah.
And this here, it's what we are good at. It's that most of our partners already know us, and sometimes they call us when they have new real estate available, so we can be the first ones to go and see. And we make the negotiations. Of course, that having no taxes paid in Portugal, or if you don't have anyone that it's going to be your, how do you call fiador?
I don't know. Sorry. We'll come back to that.
No, how do you call the person that it's going to be financial responsible for you?
A guarantor.
Oh, yes, guarantor. If you don't have a guarantor,
yes.
Of course, you need to negotiate to pay more months in advance.
Yes.
And we do all that. We talk to the client, we talk to the landlords, and we deal with the agencies. It's a lot of work. I don't think that people know that it's hours and hours spent to the phone and going to the apartments. It's
sure
really it's really lots of work, and
yes.
Especially when people are changing their minds all the time. Now I want this, now I want that, now I want to leave. Oh no, now I want Braga, now I want Porto. Thinking, well, I want Guimarães, and it's a really challenging work.
I don't think we help with that, because we're always showing off different parts of Portugal. And you might get a call, but I want to live in Ponte Lima now. What have you got in Ponte Lima? Yeah, I understand that, and that's the wonderful thing in many ways about Portugal. So many lovely places to live, but of course that can make a bit of a problem for you with your work there. So how do people get started, Gilda? This will be music to the ears of many, because it is a problem, isn't it? I mean, could we dwell on that for a moment? How serious has this situation become, and how have you seen it change over the last months and years?
It's becoming. Let me tell you, I have 4 people that are doing that, and that's only, and they have been really busy and really tired. I just hired a 5th one that it's going to start at the end of the month.
Great.
And they are always on the phone and always on the street doing the search.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult, because when they open one house for a visit, it's like 12 people or sometimes 20 people to see the apartment. Okay.
Really? Yes.
Yes. And when we go there, we need to have a file of documents of our clients, and we need to argue a lot.
Right. Okay. So you go in battling, looking for the best.
It is a battle. It is a battle. And sometimes when they get out of it, they are really tired. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're working hard, which is amazing, and great news that you are recruiting more people to join the team. Andrea in Porto.
You see, Andrea in Porto is a superstar for Casa Portuguesa. Thank you.
There's a nice testimonial there for your team member in Porto at the moment. Thank you for all the questions. We will get to those. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows about Casa Portuguesa in this difficult situation at the moment of finding somewhere to live. Actually, we should rewind a little bit, because it's not only a lease that is the only option. There are 3 basic ways, aren't there? You could buy a house, and we know people who've done that recently. Congratulations to you. You can buy a house, and therefore you have a home, quite clearly your own home that you've bought. There is the lease that we're talking about, the rental lease, but you can also get the atestado. Excuse me. And that's changed as well. Tell us how, Gilda.
The atestado da junta.
Yes. Something just went down the wrong way. So yeah, it's become a little bit more difficult to do the atestado. It's not that bad. Yeah, the atestado da junta, how's that changed?
Yes, but the atestado, we get it through A.
Okay.
And it depends from junta to junta.
Okay, but it's not the easiest way of doing it, is it? I mean, because I think, is it true that CEF are becoming a little bit more suspicious about that route?
Yes, they are. Oh, and I also have some news from CEF.
Well, we want the update about CEF and IMT, if you will, please. They need their own jingle, don't they? Should we have a CEF jingle as well?
Yes.
So what's the news from CEF and IMT, please, this morning?
I don't think I have from IMT. Do I?
Okay, sorry, T-Duck. Still waiting for the driving license. So just CEF then.
Well, from IMT, what I know, but I cannot say it here because it's going to be a trial. So I don't want to. I don't want to reveal before I have my results. Okay?
Something is happening behind the scenes then.
Yes. So I don't want to say before the results. But from CEF, there was a new decree law that states that all the visas and all the cards that were expired, they are now automatically extended until the end of the year.
All of them?
So, all of them.
Wow,
so this means that they just don't want to bother about them. They once more they are postponing until the end of the year to see what's going to happen, to see if the new entity is going to become or to enter in force or wherever it's going to happen.
This is running and running, isn't it? It's running and running. So this is good news for people, isn't it, who aren't in a situation where they're worried or need to take a big step. It's the status quo for many people then, isn't it?
More or less, because it's good for people that want to stay in Portugal.
Yes.
They don't need to bother about it. But if you want to fly, especially outside the Schengen area,
yes.
it can be a little bit picky because sometimes in the airports they can get stuck and it's going to be difficult to explain. But I have a resident permit in Portugal. I know it's expired, but the Portuguese authorities said no, we are okay until the end of the year. And the other authorities are going to say this person is crazy because it doesn't happen anywhere in the world. And then the other person needs to say, no, but it happens in Portugal.
Yeah. Well,
please call the Portuguese authorities.
Yes, because I think when immigration officials are being recruited, they look for people who have a genetic disposition to not being able to smile, right? So you have to keep a straight face for 8 hours I mean, that's the main aptitude test in immigration, isn't it?
Yeah.
As anyone who knows anything about crossing a border will know, you just got to be able to keep a straight face. And can you imagine and we know people in our community who've fallen foul of this. You're absolutely right. It's good news for some people, but it's terrible news for other people because they are flying around the world and they land at a border. And the border person with the straight face looks at the paper. And there's the other thing. The first thing is not smiling. The second thing is doing everything quite slowly, isn't it? So there's no smile. It's like, they look up at you. And if you're not standing behind the line, it's like, get back behind the line. Okay, now you're behind the line. You can come forward and then put the hand out for the passport. And then look at the passport and the papers. And it's awful, that moment, isn't it? And then you've got this situation that you describe. Your permit here for Portugal is out of date. Yeah, I know it's out of date, but they said it'll be fine. It's not a brilliant position to be in, is it? And this is what's happening to the like golden visa customers, for example. There are some golden visa. There's a union forming, I think, isn't there, of golden visa people who are not used to being treated in this way, are they? They've got the golden visa. They're often very wealthy people. They jet set around the world, and to be held up on a technicality like that is not impressing them at the moment. So it is a difficult situation and terrible situation for some, whilst for many others, it's quite good that the Portuguese authorities have said, don't worry about it, not at least till the end of the year. And you have to take a couple of months off that as well, don't you? If you're thinking you've got July, August, September, October, November, December, it's not all of those 6 months, is it? Because 2 of those will be holiday. We know this. So it's probably down to 4 months for SEF and APMA or whatever it's going to be called to sort themselves out, and we'll await another decision. Thank you for that update. The other update, Gilda, that we almost forgot to mention is that you turned around the massive corporation that is Millennium BCP. A stiff email from Gilda one evening managed to turn around a stupid corporate policy. Tell us about that. This banking situation has been solved thanks to you, I think.
Well, I don't believe it was only me.
Oh, okay.
But I wrote this email. I must say I was not nice. Okay.
No, I heard.
I was not nice to Millennium. I said that what are you doing? You are losing clients. You are just giving clients to other banks, and we had this treaty, and I was bringing new clients, and I told them that you are not just losing new clients, but the expats community are now leaving you because you are not treating well the other expats.
Yes.
So you are going to have a huge loss, and I'm really disappointed with you. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. You are going to lose a lot of money. And then they wrote back to me saying that they were going to reevaluate the situation. And then 2 days after, they called me and they said that, Gilda, we have decided that we are going to accept the D7s and the D3s and the golden visas bank accounts.
Very good. Well done, Gilda. And the memo hasn't got to all the branches yet, because whilst I was trying to sort out my Millennium BCP situation and they wanted to sell me a new PIN number, I can't believe it's €10 for a new PIN, but it was a broken card as it turns out. And I asked them about this while I was sat there. What's this situation about you not opening accounts for foreigners then? And they chatted to each other and said, no, yeah, you can. We only open accounts for EU people, Schengen people, and UK. Brits are okay, actually. Brits are fine with this. And I said, that's not a good situation, is it? And he said, we don't care about visas. It's not our problem. A bank person said that. And I was thinking, this is why the big banks have to be very careful, because of the new ones, the Wises, the N26s, the Revoluts will come and eat their breakfast if they don't change attitudes like that. And thank you, Gilda, then, for doing what you did. We've got a lot of questions. We've got a lot of comments. Let's carry on. Happy birthday, Owen. Sorry I couldn't make your party. Just recovering from COVID. Lots of love to you, Pam, on your recovery there. Jeff Hill is in. Bon dia. I think we heard from you, Jeff, earlier on, didn't we? But there's no harm in saying bon dia here. Feliz Segunda-feira, Gumpers from Cindy B. Morning, Cindy. 7 days to go, people, before Andrew leaves the UK for good. Bon dia from Stephen as well. And Kejiro. On a totally random note, IKEA will start, this is random nom de plume, will start using mushroom packaging in lieu of styrofoam that will disintegrate in a garden within weeks. Why don't it do that in their warehouse as well? That sounds a bit, you've got to sell that stuff before the packaging disintegrates. Morning all, no sunshine here in the Algarve. Yes, this strange weather.
Yeah, neither here.
Send in your cloudy pictures. We need to keep an eye on this. We'll have to look at Phil's weather station, see what's going on if we have time today. Antonio F is in with parabéns to Owen as well. And Karim Kajani is in as well. Fantastic. Great to see you. Portholes for putting port through. That's a good use of a porthole. Thank you very much there. Yep, leaving the UK for good. Amazing in a few days. How does that feel, Andrew? And Baddies here with a bon dialgria. Mama and Henry. Henry and Harry are interchangeable, of course, but in this case, Mama and Harry are here with a hello. Hello from the United Kingdom, Her Majesties. Greetings from Korea from Amelie. Who told us about Kajiro there, and a bit of Portuguese from Rebel Mama. Então, estou feliz que sinta bem. O meu marido teve as mês passado, mas não tinha. What does that mean? What's happening with the husband there?
I think it's about COVID.
Oh, he's not been well for a few. Yeah, she had him locked in a different room and was sliding food under the door. Probably just crackers and stuff like that would fit under a door. How is the husband? If you need our help, Mr. Mama, shout out. We'll put some food through the window on the other side. If Rebel Mama's not taking care of business there, I'm sure she is. Hola, bon dia todos from Sagres. Oh, yes, they're in Sagres. Fazio do dia, Skipworth and Turner, thinking about your love. June! Fantastic. Got a
Capricorn also knows how to party.
Absolutely right, he does, yeah. The month, Rima as well. We haven't had a screamer from Rima from a little while. Can we have one of those, please, Chris? The month-long Sister Musica Festival got underway this weekend in Alcobaça. Sore heads and sore feet, I suspect, but that's just a little bit of conditioning for the month ahead. Excellent stuff. Gentle boxing, what's that about? I wonder. Surely American independence is their version of Brexit. I suppose that's one way of seeing it. And all the Brexiteers can say, see, didn't turn out too bad. Connie and Hank are in this morning as well. Hi, James. Morning all. Hey, Hank and Connie, how are you?
Hello.
Have they recovered, I wonder, yet from their arrival? Again, talking about Americans causing trouble. They will be causing trouble in Porto very soon. Watch out, Porto. Hank and Connie Stalika are here. Are you 25? Around that, Reshab. James, the rule is verb conjugation. The question is, how are you, not how will you be? But I will be happy to start asking that instead. Okay, fair enough. I think we're changing how people speak to each other here on the Good Morning Portugal show from expatsportugal.com. Join our community at expatsportugal.com/community. Bon dia gumpers from Lisa M. I wish, Reshab. Oh, I see. No, he's not quite 25. That long thinking pause is all of us when we first start conversing in Portuguese. 2 levels of it. How am I really? And how do I say that in Portuguese? And by that time, the Portuguese person has wandered away thinking, what is wrong with that person? Happy birthday, Owen, from Connie. I've never understood being proud of your nationality. It's just an accident of birth. There are good things about all countries to look to share and celebrate, though, aren't there, Pam? I think the Portuguese do, what's it called? National pride very well. I'm trying to think of the word, and I can never remember this word. It's not nationalism, of course, but national pride. Portuguese people do it really well. Not the same kind of discomfort when there's a Portuguese flag hanging from a house as there might be from a Union Jack hanging from a British home these days. Independence Day, mainly big picnic and fireworks. Enjoy those, folks. Just caught up, says Ian Turner. The pics of the lakes and the canals were from Annecy. Very nice. And he's off to Lake Garda. Lake Garda pictures. We're looking forward to seeing those. 11 degrees in Canada then, Gilda. Look, where I am was 6 degrees last night. That's cold, isn't it? I mean, we shouldn't really complain about the weather here, but it is a bit weird for July, as to be said. Mrs. M was saying it was like autumn this morning, like when the kids go back to school. Wondering if you choose the right place to live. How warm is it overnight here? Yeah, okay, we should stop complaining. Canada, one of the few countries in the world to ask politely to become independent. I have other thoughts on that, but I am trying not to be political. Tonight, 10 o'clock, where we can... Well, our main question is, are you really living? If you want to join me at 10 for that. On my question to you is this podcast at 10 on my Facebook timeline and also on YouTube. Americans don't get many vacation days. We take any holiday we can get. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Nom de plume. And we had our Independence Day on the 1st, a quieter affair, as you might expect, from Canada there. Isn't July 4th the US Thanksgiving in Britain? Cheeky. How I'm celebrating Independence Day, says Nom de Plume, day off from work, organising photos to send to scanning in preparation to head to Portugal. Good work, Nom de Plume. Keep it up, please. What's this? Michelle's in from Australia. Guru Slug, thanks for your insights. You always get me reflecting, doesn't he just? Paul Harrison's here. When Granny had flu, we rubbed goose grease on her back. She went downhill very quickly after that. Very good, Paul Harrison. sliding in a dad joke there. Morning, everyone, from Kawaii Pandas. Gilda, my dear, you're looking happy. Bon dia. And hello, Gilda. So here we go. Here's all the hellos for Gilda. Joseph Galway as well. Well worth the wait. Awesome. I think referring to here's Manny. And any news from IMT? We've covered that. 14 months I've been waiting for a driver's license. Things going on behind the scenes. T-Duck, Stefan, Lubermirski, Devol. What a name. Fantastic, Stefan. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. And hearts to Gilda. Happy to have done that for you there. I'll pass that on to you, Gilda, so you can have it on the front of your phone to remind you of Manny while you're out. India's succession, going back to independence under Gandhi, was relatively peaceful occurrence other than some fringe violence. I think their population was over 300 million at the time. What an extraordinary situation where I think, was it Mountbatten, just drew a line across the country. Okay, we'll put these people over here and these people over here. Unbelievable, but there you go. Yes, I love fireworks and looking forward to seeing them in Portugal. You will see fireworks here. The most amazing fireworks in Porto a couple of weeks ago. Good morning all from Anna Laila. Good morning to you. Yeah, 3 a.m. in America, and people are tuned in to you, Gilda. How about that? Hey, I'm awake.
Not me, you.
I'm from the US. Don't hold it against me. Come on, just a bit of friendly banter between the countries here. It's only your nationality, of course. We're all humans with big hearts here underneath all those flags and boundaries and silly stuff like that. Okay, first of the questions then. Oh, no, Darren, 2 a.m. right now. They don't start partying and drinking for at least 5 hours. Okay, fair play. 7 o'clock, official drinking time. Hi, Gilda. Can we get rentals in 4 different cities for the year? Good question, SP. That should be the same as 1 rental in 1 city for the year, right? Appreciate your thoughts. Thanks.
Unfortunately, you can't for migration purpose. And I'm going to explain you why.
Oh dear.
Because the habitational rental agreements are for 1 year. So for SEF and for the consulates, they are going to ask you for 1 year rental agreement.
Okay. Sorry, SP. It does sound like a great idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe, 3 lots of 4, 4 lots of 3, 6 lots of 2 even, having different base camps around the country. But no, they want 12 whole months in one place currently. So there you go. Personally, says Darren, I think a group of gumpers should be called like a group of crows. That's a murder, isn't it? Cunning, wise, attracted to shiny things. Absolutely. Another Portugal-related question, not exactly visas, but quite an important one for anyone thinking of moving here. Do you guys personally feel that inflation is increasing the cost of living in Portugal? What do you think about this, Gilda? Have you noticed the pinch?
Yes.
Me too.
When you go to the supermarket.
Absolutely right. I never really look at things like that, and perhaps I should a little bit more. Like I say, with petrol, I only ever put 20 euros into it. It never changes. However, butter, I've been looking at the price of butter, Gilda, and I have a butter index now to give me a sense of what's going on. I still think Portugal is great value. I bought a great big bag of cockles and cooked them on Saturday night. I bought dorada. These sorts of things, fresh food is very good value here, but it is rising. The price is rising. And butter, in my experience, salted butter has gone from 159, I think, around that, 139, 159, less than 3 months ago, certainly 6 months ago. And it's now, some of it is over €2. And I think that the supermarkets are taking advantage of this and playing a few games as well, aren't they?
Yes.
Do you think so? I think they are, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And that's why they had the fine from the the authority that regulates the prices from the supermarkets. They all got a fine because they were like
fixing prices,
fixing the prices.
Yeah. Come on, you lot. It's bad enough for people without you doing that to them. So stop it. And maybe typically the fine might have been worth paying. That's the sad thing, isn't it? If the fine is less than the profit, they'll keep doing it, especially in fuel and food. So Antonio is saying, yes, that's where we're seeing the rises. The fuel is over €2. The hikes look set to continue. And same with food. Thank you for Antonio F for that. And Warren was referring to succession from Britain with India and Pakistan. The partition that occurred resulting in modern Pakistan, India was a troubled time. So you were referring to the first part And that's when the trouble began, wasn't it? In a pretty shocking situation later on with the partition. And that's the line that I mentioned that was drawn, just moving people about randomly like that. Thank you, Warren. Thank you for being here this morning. Hi, Gilda. Warren, of course, Gilda, the man who writes the theme tunes. Hi, Gilda. How much does it cost for the legal fees for the Golden Visa?
You need to email me.
Okay.
Because it depends if it is real estate, if it is, yeah.
Right. I will put the email address for contacting Gilda, of course, in the comments in due course. And what's this? When we moved, we decided not even to discuss how it was going until a year had passed. This is good. Going back to what we were talking about before, Gilda, people moving home. So allow a year. Would you agree with that? Give it a year before you make any hasty decisions to go home?
Yes,
probably
sure.
at least,
because right? as I told you, these people didn't wait for a year. It was very quickly.
And then you can imagine people like that who move hastily might regret it again and then you get another phone call from them. Okay, this is it. You've got to stay this time if you're going to keep messing about like this. Okay. All right. Victoria from Lisa. We are making paella and patatas bravas today. So some nice paella and tapas going on there for our July 4th celebration with sangria. A bit unusual for here, but we've come to expect the unusual from you and Carlos. And this is important, isn't it? Not rejecting the US, just embracing Portugal. The motivation for moving, I like that. And Kajiro, very good, Amelie, for mentioning that earlier on. We do have other questions, but look, we've got to say hi to John and Pam, just checking in from Schiphol Airport. Much accomplished on this trip. We bought a villa in Ponte Lima. How about that? Mentioning before how some people buy a home that is theirs to put on their D7 paperwork. And here those lovely folks are.
Oh,
we know what's going on behind them there, don't we? Look at that. It's Disneyland, Gilda.
No, it's Sintra.
It's Sintra. And there's another close-up of Sintra with hydrangeas in the foreground. John and Pam, so lovely to meet you on this trip. It's been amazing what you've accomplished. What a fantastic itinerary for scouting and going home with a purchase agreement in your hands. And they've chosen Ponte Lima, folks. I think the drawbridge has been lifted up now in Ponte Lima. No more foreigners allowed in there. They have had a real influx. And the new foreigners don't want any more new foreigners coming in. They want it. They like it just the way it is. Only kidding, everybody. John Gibson, 3 weeks to our CEF meetings. Thanks, Gilda and team, for guiding us on our journey to our new life in Portugal. How about that from John?
And everything's going to be great.
Yes. Do you know The Vicar of Dibley, Gilda? A British comedy series?
No.
Oh, I don't know. That could work, or it just might. You might think, who are these weird people? These weird British people and their funny British teeth, etc. Hi, Gilda. Have you had clients from Asia, like Japan, China, and
Yes,
Singapore?
of course. Of course.
It would be easier for Gilda to say where she hasn't had clients from rather than name check all the countries. How about this? Nom de plume, verdad. The point I apparently failed to make was because of my projection of the future, I am now feeling fantastic from the banana slug. I got you. Could not have done it without expert help from EI, Carl and friends, Vitor, Vera with Lux, Nunu, etc. How about that? Thank you, John and Pam. We love a testimonial from you at Expats Portugal, of course we would. James, I think we got what you meant. We did. Well, some of us did anyway. Women in the US should be lighting up more than just the sky at the moment. Rebel mama, I thought you'd gone. And Lejma de Banana, that's an important point. Now it makes more sense. It's holographic. Nice one. Nice way of putting it, nom de plume. What's Casa Portuguesa's website address? Okay, let me do that for you right away. And I will, of course, make sure that you have Gilda's email address, Casa Portuguesa. But I've got to put this in the comments because you might not get the spelling there. Not being patronizing, just want you to make sure you get the right one. But casaportuguesa.com.pt. Don't forget the extra pete, as Portuguese people, I think, say pete. For the website suffix there. That's in there for you, Amelie. Okay, Vitor Costa's here this morning. Bom dia, alegria, da manhã.
Hello, Victor.
What does this mean, da manhã? Começa o dia. Tomorrow's another day?
No, in the morning starts the day.
In the morning starts the day. Love it. Gilda, great idea. Which of your many great ideas was that this morning, Gilda?
Starting the Casa Portuguesa.
Okay. It is hard to rent a place. Oh, is it hard to rent a place with a pet? Okay, great question.
I don't think so. So far, none of our clients left without an apartment because of a pet, and
Yeah.
almost all of them bring pets.
Yeah, my experience of that, Gilda, is when I've asked people, is it okay to have a dog here? Portuguese people are like, why? Why would you even ask? It's like, it's Portuguese people have dogs and pets. It's just part of family life. And I love that. I really do, that they're surprised. It's like, then they begin to worry. Why is this guy asking if what kind of dog is this? It might, they're thinking, is it gonna destroy my house? Possibly, like this guy. But no, don't worry. It's not a tackle dog. He's not going to eat your doors, Mr. Landlord. So don't worry there. Great question, though. A 3 peas in the pod, Simon. Happy birthday to a great cook who cooks great dishes that make wonderful memories. Have a great one. Nice one, mate.
Who is Owen? I don't know who is Owen.
Don't know who Owen is. That's probably because your worlds haven't aligned. This is Owen with his Good Morning Portugal mug there. He's our chef. He doesn't like being called a chef.
I remember. I watched one show with him.
It's that Owen.
Happy birthday, Owen. Also Carla from Hey. It's her birthday too.
Happy birthday to you, Carla. And it'll be my birthday. Carla this week. It'll be my birthday on Thursday. Anyone who wants to join me in a beer on Thursday morning, please get your Sagres Superbock or whatever it is you intend to drink, and drink it responsibly for Thursday morning. A year without beer, Gilda. I still remember the look on your face when I told you I was giving up a beer for a year. Alcohol. You said, you gave me that look. Not quite as hard, not quite as serious as the sardine look. Which is probably what how they felt at Millennium BCP. They got the sardine treatment, didn't they? Gilda's now world famous sardine treatment. But when I said I was giving up drinking, I think you said something like, "That's probably going to be bad for your health." I was like, why, Carl? Why would you do that? And it's over come this Thursday. So I'm looking forward to the first cold real beer. I really am. Back to the question. Sorry, enough about me and my drinking habits. Question for Gilda: what parts of Portugal do you serve? Is the Silver Coast included? This is probably for Casa Portuguesa.
Yes, of course, it's included.
So everywhere. Is there anywhere you don't go or don't want to go?
Well, it's very hard to work with the North interior, like Guarda, Viseu, and it's hard.
Yes. Okay. Which in its way is a kind of tip, isn't it? If you want a secluded life, maybe go to the northern interior, but you're probably on your own and everything's going to take a bit longer. But that's still an uncharted, metaphorically, part of Portugal there. What were those? Viseu and Guarda might be tips for people.
But we can also help, but it's more difficult for us to make the visits.
I understand.
We can send the links, we can make the negotiations and things like that.
I absolutely understand that. There's the email address, by the way, for Gilda. Send all inquiries into that one and say where you heard about Gilda, obviously, when you send your email in. Saw you on that show the other day. Back to the questions then, and many of them. Thank you so much, everybody. Only 5 minutes to go. We might go over again this morning, Gilda. This always seems to happen, doesn't it? Any news for cards for Brits?
No, not yet. Sorry.
Not yet. Sorry, that's probably going to be...
It's been like 6 months with this conversation, Capricorn. I'm sorry.
2023. We'll have another look again then. And Andrea is a superstar for Casa Portuguesa in Porto. Thank you for that. Hey, Riot. Please say hello to my good friend Stefan. It's his first visit to us on my recommendation. Stefan, hello. Warm welcome to you, Stefan. You are now a friend of the show. Gilda, I was very lucky to have a meeting with my realtor last year on a scouting trip, and he was able to find something for me. You are lucky, Aviva. That's fantastic. Yeah. And 3 P's in the pod. Every Portuguese child, right after birth, is automatically assigned with an ID number, a NIF, Social Security, and National Health. So there you go. That's how it is for kids here. Gilda, we've done that one. Sorry. Joao F is here. Thank you for your meme earlier on, Joao F, especially those of you who are USA natives. For today is your National Day, the 4th of July. Hello, Gilda. Thanks for that, Joao F.
Hello, Jim.
Jim as well. Your show, a big hit last week, Jim, talking about you arriving in Portugal and Porto specifically. Thanks, Antonio. Make it mine first online, and the wife and the child when we get there. Lots of stuff going on around behind the scenes, people helping people, loving that. What is the ajuda? The third, atestado. Maybe that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me poorly pronouncing atestado de freguesia. There, that was a little bit better that time, I hope. And yay for Andrea as well. So please send that feedback to Andrea, if you will, from Jim and Jeff. Hello, Gilda from Karim this morning.
Hello.
Hola, bon dia, Gilda from Victoria as well. You know where she's gone, don't
Hello,
you?
Victoria.
We're not sure if we're talking to her or not. Gilda, is the 60 days to process a visa application a CEF guideline or the law? Very good question.
It's the law.
Okay.
But I must say, it's not easy for them to respect the law.
Oh, I say, nicely put. Carl, Maria Kashusha was a woman born in 1900 that worked in a slaughterhouse, has a moustache, and drank like a man. She sounds like a proper character. So we've got Zé Povinho on the one side as a great Portuguese folk character, and Maria Kashusha. Can we have a picture, please, Antonio F. or João F? She sounds fantastic. Bon dia, Gilda. Love you. Say hi to... This is so effusive and wonderful. The comments you get, Gilda. Love you, Gilda. Say hi to Nicola and Kevin for me this morning. I sing your praises all the time. Love A. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Do I need to show the rental agreement at the time of filing or once I come to Portugal after my approval? From Karim.
On the time of filing your visa process.
Okay, and the Kashusha was also a Spanish dance from the 19th century that was also danced in Portugal, and that's probably the origin of the expression. You are wonderful, Antonio F. Thank you for that. We are certain it was only you, Gilda. You are a rock star. Well done, Gilda. Yes, that was about Millennium BCP. Now they've got your picture in staff training now, haven't they? Do a good job, otherwise this woman will be writing to you. No, okay, I'll do a good job. No, with the sardines. In Portuguese, por favor, James, just a small remark. The word "ein" has no stress whatsoever. Do you wish to consider being rebaptized? Of course he does. Fantastic, Gilda. Amazing, Gilda. This is you and your one-woman struggle with Millennium BCP. Bon dia, Gumpers. They'll talk about you in the future. The woman who took on BCP and turned them around. Sarah's here. Morning, Sarah, in Istanbul. And... bravo, Gilda.
The Queen of Immigration.
The Queen of Immigration. At the award ceremonies, a special award. I hope to present this, actually. I probably can't do it because my Portuguese isn't up to it. But a special award this evening. We would like to honor, in a special category, turning around the corporate world, is Gilda Pereira from A to receive her award. Hey! Fantastic. Yes, there you go. Thunder. Hello, my good friend. Just between the two of us, just between the two of them? Check this out. We're eavesdropping. Are you sure you have a clean criminal record? Because it's likely for some reason IMT doesn't want you to drive in Portugal. They've heard about his driving. I hope Pete's here. Morning, Pete. I hope all Americans have their French flags out. Vive la France. More French troops fought in the U.S. War of Independence than Americans. Ooh la la! Imagine Prince Andrew. And cohorts in charge. Thank you, Pete, for that. Very Pete-ish. Bon dia todos from Garvo. I showed the wine earlier on. I wonder what you think of this one, Gilda. This is our wine for the wine club when it returns on the 1st of August. Have you tried this bad boy?
No.
Okay, maybe you'll join us on the 1st of August to do so. There you go, Garvo. And Gary's question here. Have they scrapped the ID card application for immigrant residents? We applied, but never heard anything after they said it would be we would be contacted for an appointment. So you've got your QR code then, Gary, by the sound of it. You traded up from the old piece of paper. What was that called? The piece of paper, Gilda? Had a name, didn't it? Just a single piece of paper with the EU stars on it. But people were asked to change that for the QR code.
The QR code.
This is what this refers to. It's not being scrapped, is it? It's just a delay.
Yeah, it's just a delay.
Just a delay. Okay. And from João F, I confess I'm proud of you for all you actually do. You are not just a bunch of empty words. You really go into action and get results. Frequently against all odds there for you, Gilda. And a question from Emily now. Thanks, João F, for that. I applied for the D7 with a tour. I don't know what that is. Oh, Tistado, is it? Staying with a good friend. I am applying from Korea and it's allowed, but I worry about my CEF appointment, assuming I ever get the visa. not too happy about things there. What can you tell Amelie about that?
Tor is a term.
I thought it was a way of
Tenho
downloading
different.
stuff.
Ok, no, it's a termo de responsabilidade.
Okay.
It's okay if you do the same for the safe appointment.
Okay. I mean, I think that's an acceptable level of worry. People do go to their D7 appointments with a little bit of concern. They don't know how it's going to go. So there's going to be allow yourself an amount of worry. But Gilda has something to add, I think.
Yes, but it would be great if that friend could come with you to the safe appointment. With his rental agreement or with the proof that he owns the property.
Very good. That's going to help, isn't it? Take away a bit of strategy there to take away some of the worry. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good morning, Hank and Connie. We sent you an email last night with a question and your travel docs for your cats. Thanks from John. Message to you there, guys, the Stalikas. Gilda, our family recently all received our A2 language certificates, but we won't be able to apply for citizenship until 2025. Will our certificates be irrelevant by then? Will we need new ones? And good work. Well done, by the way, Sarah and family.
I think it's better to ask for new ones.
But we'll have to take
always like.
Will they take
no.
Okay. So new certificate. You've been there, done that, but you can get a fresh certificate. Yeah. Nice one. Hi, Gilda. We took out a year's rental agreement on our 90-day visit and have paid rent whilst back in UK. When we get our consular appointment, there may only be 6 months left. We need to extend? They will, won't they?
I would say that for the visa, you won't need that. Well, the ideal thing was if you had a clause saying that it would be extendable.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if you had an addendum say that it could be extendable.
Oh, that's good. So potentially it could be. Very good. Yeah. Oh, so good that you're here. Did you get that, Paul? Changing locations quickly, says James, could be potentially chasing happiness like it is somewhere other than inside. But yes, and of course, that will be more likely to be the actions of younger folks. I remember being a lot like that myself. 7 dias até realmente começar a viver a vida. Well done. He's already getting into the lingo. 7 days to go. Price fixing. There's an item circulated about Tesco's not getting Heinz products because they refuse to pass on price increases. So some manufacturers are playing the game and looking after people, but the supermarkets are being greedy as if they don't make enough money. So buy their home brand, but they aren't made by Heinz. That is the problem, isn't it, there? For those of you who loved your Heinz beans. Trader Joe's are pretty good at Aldi, I have to say. Connie, thanks. My wife is starting to worry she may have overlooked something. Nice one. Thank you for all helping each other out. This is fantastic. And of course, my beans are better. What's that in Portuguese, Owen? Farewell, lovelies. Michelle's got to go in Oz there, probably sitting down for dinner. And thanks, Gilda. Harry the dog is ready to move to Portugal. We didn't know Harry was a dog, did we? Mama and Harry there. Okay, now it makes sense. Can we finally name Mandela the official mascot of the GMP Monday show? Well, we can. And he's got his own, here's Manny. Oh, my goodness. Well done, everybody, this morning. We are running out of time. Happy birthday to Carla, though. And cue the Beatles' birthday song. Let's see what we can find from the comments before we have to go this morning. There is the email address, of course, for Gilda. Owen, you are the queen of GMP. Andy made your man cave birthday yesterday and your official one today. Looks like you had a lovely day yesterday. Hope you have a fab one, fella. Cheers, Pete, for that. And thank you, Gilda, for your birthday greetings there. Good morning from Cedros Fayal. From Mark. Oh, Mark, we need to get you on the show with your happy move to the Azores. And you sent me fabulous pictures from there. What a place, eh, Gilda? Fayal, Cedros. We're going to talk to Mark and Mary who've settled there. Lovely, lovely story. I hope to do that soon. And only folks from Colorado are allowed in Ponte Lima, apparently. Just kidding. Isn't it amazing? There are 4 new couples, all from Colorado, and all came to Ponte Lima. Forest, mountains, cooler climate, something in the water. And that nice and easy, laid-back vibe you Colorado folks have. I have noticed. Not phased by a frozen pie either. Oh, Carl, I wasn't correcting your pronunciation. I don't really know what the third rental option is. Question for Gilda. That was the Atestado de Freguesia, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's not like an option for the D7 visa. It's like when you are in Portugal and you take that to SEF, and that one I really don't think it's a good
You're not
one.
keen on that. So it's
No.
not very safe. Okay, so
No.
owning a house or having a rental lease are the primary ways of doing it for the least hassle, right?
Yeah, or the
There you-
one that I suggested, go with your friends and with the letter.
Yeah.
His signature needs to be recognized by a lawyer.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because
And
yes, of course, you can only get an Atestado de Freguesia once you're here, can't you? Whereas
Yeah.
the friend suggesting that they've got your place would, yeah, that's quite complex as well, isn't it? So that's what makes the leases and the purchase a lot easier. However, I didn't mean to cause any worry for you, Amelie. If there is any problem with that, drop me a line and we'll make sure we haven't put you in a spin about that. I'm so thankful for EI, says Vicky Circe, who's here this morning. Christina has been awesome to work with. She's a force of nature, that woman, Christina. She is awesome to work with. And Pete, you're so right about the French, apparently, there. And I'm just trying to find, because it's 7 minutes past 10. We've got to go. It's confusing to me because town hall is small as it gets in US. And parish is like a county. Yes, it changes here, doesn't it, with the freguesia, the camera, etc. You'll get used to it. There you go. Termo de responsabilidad. That's the TOR. Stick with that. It sounds like it's a good bet, but take your friend with you. I hope that helps. And nearly a hi from Johan Kafami this morning. I hope that's what that says. Let me see. Anything else to come in? I think we're going to have to leave it there, aren't we, Gilda, with some last words to you. Choc Bomb says, I pay 75% to my landlord off books. I get a receipt for 25%. Is that normal here? Well, it's normal, but it's not lawful, and it won't work for your lease, will it, Gilda?
These Portuguese are getting you in trouble.
Okay, all right. Enough said on that.
The most important thing to ask you is that lease agreement registered in the tax office, and did you get a receipt for that 25%?
Right. Yes. Okay, we'll come back to
because it's the minimum that he can do.
Okay. Is it true you can hold dual citizenship for England and Portugal? You can, can't you?
Yes, it is. It is.
No problems there. Deagle says, I find Monday's show with Gilda the most informative, with the community putting into chat. You learn so much, starting to become my favorite show of the week. Careful, you'll upset the others, Deagle. Whenever I say this is my favorite show, I always have to say, don't tell the others, of course. That's, like I do with my children. Not really. Maybe. Carl, when will the webinar be posted? I'm sorry, yes. That would normally be up quicker and over the weekend. We had a great webinar with Serenity's Dr. Avabook. That will be up, I'm going to say, within the next 24 hours. Good. Day to everyone. Now it's time for me to go to sleep. Lisa M, great job. Great show. Very informative. Thanks. It's a pleasure. And mainly because Gilda is here. Funny story then, finally, before we go to Gilda for a final word or two. Funny story regarding Fayal. When I was there in 1990, went to the ATM at 5 p.m. He had no money and displayed a message. Please go to the nearest ATM, Ilha de Pico or Ilha de Graciosa. Yes, you had to get a boat or a plane to get to the ATM, the nearest one. Lesson learned there, probably. If you want to use the ATM in the Azores, go in the morning. Go, please do. Would have to go to another island to get some money. That is fantastic. Patrick, thank you for your kind words. Great show, very informative. Thanks. How are you, Patrick? I really enjoyed your messages the other day when we were live broadcasting from the meetup. Okay, then, Gilda, over to you for a final word or two.
Okay, the thing about the millennium, as Carl said, maybe the world was not spread to all the branches. So if you have any problem, just let me know.
Yes, there you go. Sardine treatment is awaiting them. I love Mondays on GMP2, especially the part where I get to say hi and speak with Gilda directly. Oh, we've got to answer this one. This will be the final thing then today. Are there any areas of the country with more availability than others for long-term rentals? Where is it easiest at the moment to find someone, would you say, Gilda?
I would say Alentejo.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. All right. There's a tip for you, Jeff, which probably isn't on your list and might put you into a further spin. But you won't be sorry. Okay.
Also, Algarve, but not near the sea.
Oh,
a little bit upward.
And maybe not at the moment.
As it's not close to the sea, you can get it upward. And also the Lisbon south, when you have to cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe you will find something.
Yes, and it's very wonderful over there. You get the best view of Lisbon on the south side, and if you get somewhere like Casillas or somewhere like that,
Casillas, it's already. No,
that was
like Montijo, Alcochete.
And there are ferries, aren't there? There are ferries over from that side of the water, which is a lovely way to arrive in Lisbon. So there you go, Jeff. I hope that helps. People will be rewinding and watching that last bit of the show to get those names. Gilda, thank you so much. What an amazing week we've had. What an amazing show we've had, and what an amazing week with your brilliant news about BCP. Have a good one. Love to all the team A, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
It's Gilda P on GMP every Monday morning. Her approach to self is oh so fine and always reassuring. It's Gilda P on GMP every Monday morning.
There she goes, Gilda P. Start looking for the wine peeps if you want to be involved in the Good Morning Portugal wine. And it's a food club as well, actually, now. We expanded its remit. That's the wine for the 1st of August. Get the cold beers in for Thursday. We'll have a little tipple together in the morning if you're up for that. What could possibly go wrong? I'm seeing if I've forgotten to share any photographs with you. I think I may have forgotten one or two. Oh, that's my boy's heron picture. The kids were so keen to get a picture of the heron, and with a mobile phone. I think that's pretty good. So well done, son, for doing that. Fantastic picture that I want to share with you this morning. And we've got a lovely post sunset from Phil and Maria to put up at the end of the show. I think that covers everything. I do apologize if I haven't shared a photograph of yours this morning that you sent in, or any other time. Please don't be offended. Just remind me. I won't be offended if you remind me. We do get a lot of material coming in via WhatsApp. Ciao, ciao, y'all. And thank you. So I'll put these up. I'll put your goodbyes up. Yeah, great job, says Philip with Millennium. Well done. But yeah, as Gilda said, they don't know that. It hasn't trickled down into all the branches yet. So do get in touch with Gilda Geral at imigrante.pt if you want some help with that. Join us. No, not tonight. No gardening Q&A tonight, but I am on my question to you is this live show where we're asking the question. I'm asking the question, are you really living? Prompted by an amazing Facebook post that I saw, a woman who was coming to the end of her life and had some very interesting things to say, which I'll share with you this evening. It does sound a little bit grisly and morbid, but it's absolutely inspiring. And I'll share that with you and ask the question, are you really living? Being in Portugal makes that a whole lot easier, of course. Have a great day. Maybe see you this evening. And if not, see you tomorrow morning. Ciao, ciao.